Boys and girls, thank you for all your hard work last week looking at appeasement. I read some really good stuff, especially that last paragraph that you guys wrote. Looks like you really understood what appeasement was and the pros and the cons of that. This week we're going to continue with World War II. We're actually going to look at Dunkirk, which is one of the biggest successes, or is it a big tragedy? That's what we're going to look at. It's a key event in World War II. So we're sort of skipping forward into World War II, and one of the most significant parts of it, it's gone down in history, English, British history, with our fight against the Nazis. So what I want you to do today is, your title is Dunkirk, Evacuation, Tragedy or Triumph. Okay, there is a movie that came out. There was a movie about this a couple of years ago that you might want to take a look at and watch if you're interested in your history. That might be on Netflix or Amazon. I'm not 100% sure. But we've got a few key words here that you really need to read to make sure you understand some of the text that's in today's lesson. You've got Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war, and was a tactic used by the Germans. Dunkirk, which is a place in northern France. Operation Dynamo, which was a code name for Dunkirk's evacuation. BEF, or British Expeditionary Force, which is kind of like the British Army, but it's the British Army force in Europe. And morale, which is confidence and enthusiasm. So your first task is to read through the information below and answer the questions underneath. So very simple. Here are the questions. Task 2, you need to read through this information about what Dunkirk was. And then what you need to do is read through the 8 sources and, using a highlighter tool, highlight the evidence that shows that the evacuation was a triumph or tragedy, and then complete the table below. So the table below is here. So was source 1 a triumph or a tragedy, and how do you know? So if I look at source 1, I'll say a Daily Express headline. It says tens of thousands safely home already. Okay, I'd say the first one I'd say is a triumph. And how do I know? I write down it's a newspaper headline that says that the troops are home. I think that's what it says. Was that what it says? I'm going to double check. Safely home already. Yeah, safely home already. That says the troops are safely home. Okay. So I'll leave this one on there for you to do. So just a reminder, you just need to look through the sources and tell me whether it suggests that Dunkirk was a triumph or a tragedy. But just, you need to make sure you tell me how you know, what part of the source tells you that. And then finally, your hot task, those of you who complete the hot tasks, is to tell me which one of the sources you think is most useful to a historian, and tell me why. Explain to me why it is useful. Look at who wrote it, the type of source it is, when it was written, why it was written, what is said, and I'd like a few lines telling me why you think it's the most useful. Thank you very much for your hard work, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.